Hi everybody, I am coming at you on the front porch with an Easter basket and with my best girl, Chloe. Little treat for her. You want another one? Come get it. One more, come up here. Come here. Oh, ew, she's got slimy hands. All right, I'm gonna give her the rest of these. There you go, girl. And I'm gonna get to it. I am on chapter 19 of The Collector. So creepy. Here we go. I knew I was dreaming. I knew it, but it didn't make me wake up. Ooh, somebody's horn. And the moment I realized that, I realized what sort of dream this was gonna be. I was in the woods, running. And I knew Beryl was running behind me. I could hear her footsteps in the trees. I could feel her rancid breath on my neck. I didn't look behind me. I knew if I did, I would trip and fall, and then she would have me. Branches scratched my face and legs and hands as I ran. Some felt like they were covered in thorns. They hurt so bad. I didn't focus on them. I focused on running faster, faster. My heart beating as fast as my footsteps, my throat as hot as Beryl's breath on the back of my neck. She's catching up, she's catching up. Josie. Then the woods thinned out. The path led straight to where I knew it would, Vanessa's house. I ran past the broken mannequins and doll-covered bird baths, up the front steps. But no doll opened the door. Instead, the door was slightly ajar. I ran inside and slammed it shut behind me. My heart hammered so loudly I could barely hear the beast behind me. Then the creature thundered up the porch and slammed into the door. Bam! Everything shook. A picture fell to the floor with a crash. I pressed myself to the door to keep it from opening, but it crashed again. Every hit made the house shake and my teeth chatter. I closed my eyes as tears fell, and I wished the monster would stop. Slam! Go away, I whispered. Slam! Go away! Slam! Go away! Then the crashing stopped. I gasped at the sudden silence. It had worked. I was safe. Then I opened my eyes, truly saw where I was. Dolls everywhere. Dolls facing the wall. Dolls all around me. The smell of cookies burning. As one, every doll along the hallway slowly turned its head to stare at me. Except they weren't staring. Their eyes were crossed out with paint. Their mouths were open. They screamed. Oh. That's the end of the chapter. One more. Chapter 20. I woke up covered in sweat. When I looked at my legs, they were covered in scratches. I blinked. The scratches went away. I reached down and rubbed my hands over my unscratched legs. My heart was pounding like I really had run through the woods. I tried to calm my nerves. I hadn't actually been scratched. It was like Anna thinking she was awake when she was really dreaming. I must have still been partly asleep when I thought I'd woken up. I put my hand to my rapidly beating heart. Was I going crazy? Then my alarm buzzed loudly beside me. I turned it off and flopped back on my bed. My empty bed. I couldn't tell what I was feeling. Relief that Anna had gone a whole night without coming into my room, or fear. Had she had a similar nightmare? Was she safe? Beryl comes in the night, Grandma has said. She'll attack soon. And I hadn't been around to protect Anna. I pushed myself out of bed and ran to her door. Anna? I said. I knocked. She didn't answer. She wasn't in her room. I ran inside and looked around, tossed back her covers to make sure, but she wasn't sleeping. No, no, no. She can't have been taken. Anna? I called, louder this time. My voice shook with panic. Mom came in the door and looked in, sleepy and confused. Josie, what's wrong? Anna, she's missing. She's downstairs having breakfast, Mom said. Are you feeling okay? I was panting. When I looked in the mirror, I saw that my face was flushed and my hair was wild. But I didn't have anything to say. How could I explain that I was worried that Anna had been taken by a creature from Grandma's stories? We looked at each other for a long time. Once, Mom and I talked about everything. Now, I had more secrets than I could count. It felt like, even though we were only standing a few feet apart, we were living in completely different cities. Sorry, I muttered. Bad dreams. Mom stepped in and knelt in front of me. She put the back of her hand on my cheek and then my forehead. Are you sure you're feeling okay, honey? She asked. You haven't been acting like yourself since we moved here. My fear over, Anna being gone suddenly snapped to anger. That's because I didn't want to move here, I reminded her. I hate it. Mom's eyes tightened. I'm sorry, Josie. I know this is hard on you, but it was the only choice. No, we could have gotten a smaller place in this city. You could have gotten another job. We didn't have to leave Chicago. You wanted to go, but you didn't ask us. You never asked us anything. Josie, now that's not fair. Not fair? Not fair was worrying about getting eaten by a monster or losing my sister when, a week ago, the only things I worried about were ignoring creepy people on my walk home or missing the bus. Now, I was having nightmares about monsters and my grandma was going crazy, and maybe I was too, and everything was terrible. She had no idea what wasn't fair. The worst part was that I couldn't tell her about any of it, just like I couldn't tell Vanessa without risking scaring her off, and I couldn't tell any friends back home because there was no way they'd understand. I wouldn't understand if I wasn't the one who was living it. It wasn't until Mom wiped a tear from my cheek that I realized I was crying from frustration. I know this is hard, she began again, but I cut her off. No, you don't. Then I stormed out of the room and downstairs. I didn't stop until I was out on the back porch where Grandma Jeannie was standing again by the railing, a mug of tea forgotten in her hands. Beryl is hungry, she said. Ooh. I'm sick of hearing about Beryl, I yelled. I slammed my hands on the railing. Grandma Jeannie looked at me for a long time. She didn't speak, so I filled the silence. It's all made up, Grandma. Mom said your brain is playing tricks on you, and it's not real. Beryl isn't real. Grandma continued to look at me. Beryl is real, she said, her voice terrifyingly calm. And you will know soon enough. She's taken another child. Oh. Wonder what happened. That is the end of chapter 20. And I will post this in a minute. I hope all my Buck Lake friends from blocks 1 and 2 and others are doing well. I talked to many of you on the phone today, and I'll try to finish up all those calls by tomorrow. So I'll check you later, and next up will be chapter 21. See you later, guys.